Ji for many years. And very interesting thing is that whenever I get an opportunity to take his help and expertise, I take. And whenever he finds an opportunity, he also tries to get me and rope in. But it is not because of our personal relations. It is because at both ends we feel that we are having academic excellence, and that is why we come together on and off, and so many times. Uh, my humble request that please keep your microphone muted, and that will be in the interest of all other participants, so they will be able to hear me more clearly. And if there is a distortion in the voice quality, it creates lots of trouble, and you don't feel interested in any of the lectures. Even best of the teachers will not be able to give any kind of stuff in and disturb surrounding. Now, and thank you the entire team of Gurukul Kangdi Vishwavidyalaya. They have done wonderful job, and this is going on. I guess this is consecutively second or third day of the faculty development program under ATAL mission of AICTE. So whenever I go for such kind of lectures, I mean, there is always something in my mind whether I should go with a practical approach or I should go with an academic and so-called classroom approach, and which approach would be suitable more. Sometimes I try to blend both, and sometimes it goes more inclined. It is more inclined on the either side. So, as the topic which has been given to me, that was team building, experiences, and academic leadership. So, I have prepared a content and I had shared it with Pankaj ji and Shoyesh Bharadwaj ji. But then I thought, I mean, after I got your profile, I learned that the quality of leadership you are having, and the team has done a wonderful job in assessing your leadership traits, and then understanding upon. I mean, after going through, I guess you are 200 plus participants. So after getting everyone's profile, I was much interested to do more exercise on the leadership side. But my main focus would be team building and experiences of leaders in real life, because I'm in the higher academic field for last 29 years. I mean, and this is almost close to 30 years. So in 30 years, I have been close to and worked with so many, big leaders or kind of, vice chancellors, and even more than the vice chancellor. So learning from their leadership styles, I would love to share their experiences and transformation of institution, how it happened. I'm sure this program is going on for inculcating leadership qualities among the participants. So, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission for Teachers and Teaching. Under that LEAP program is going on. Already NEPA kind of institutions are running a lot of leadership programs. So the central government at present is very much serious about bringing in and developing the quality of leadership, because they are very much concerned with the type of leadership available at present at the national level in higher educational institutions. So that is the concern, and that is why it is happening. So I will come to my personal experiences, but since you all are coming from many universities, many colleges, many institutions, so maybe some people are having 10 years experience, 15 years experience, 20 years experience, or even more than that. So you must be experiencing that there are some people who are part of every team. Say, for example, today is X is vice chancellor, he will be part of that team. Tomorrow, Y is vice chancellor, then again he is in the team. Day after tomorrow, Z is vice chancellor, then again he will be in team. Now, these persons can be classified into two categories. One, those who are inevitable. Their quality is such a wonderful. Without them, an institution cannot function. An institution cannot go ahead. There are hard workers, very, very hard workers. And I'll recall one general theory RGD Allen and J.R. Hicks, they give a theory. They gave a theory in 1939, and later on, RGD Allen was separated from that, and J.R. Hicks presented another paper. And this is again, this is not journal theory of John Maynard Keynes, but this is a theory given by J.R. Hicks. And that theory says in any institution, you just think about it. In any institution, you will find 80% work, 80% job is done by 20% people. You just think over it. You just look around your institution. You look around, any organization, any setup. You'll find 80% job is dispersed by 20% people. And on the other side, 80% people are attributed to 20% job. Now, there may be variation, that may be ratio may be 70, 30, 60, 40, whatever. But this is the theory which was given by J.R. Hicks long back, maybe almost 80 years back. So one kind of people are those who are very sensible, very nice, very dedicated. They don't expect anything. They like to work. They are always loyal. They are loyal to the institutions. They are loyal to the chair. They are loyal to the system. They are loyal to the organization. But they are if the person is changing, if the leadership is changing. So with the change of leadership, their loyalty will not change with the institution. The institution is their prime responsibility. Is there, Pankajji, are you agreeing with this, what I'm saying? I guess you are there to hear me. Just respond me for a second. Or Shuyasji is there. I want at least one response. Am I right or wrong? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Deepa said, and Saji also said yes. This is
Yes,
correct.
sir.
Okay.
So it is something similar to the concept of goodwill, like we say rat's goodwill, cat goodwill, dog goodwill. So it is something similar.
Rat type goodwill, cat type goodwill, dog type goodwill. See, cat type goodwill is considered good because that cat will not change the place; he will remain there. Dog will go along with the owner, right? Anyways, but institutions are having such kind of people. Yes, I agree with you what you said. So here there are some leaders. Now, I mean, when I'm talking, I would ensure that you are going to develop certain traits of leadership. Now, how it will happen, I'm telling you. But the problem is not those people. They are very harmless people. They are very nice people, very congenial people, very dedicated people, and they hard earn their bread and butter. They hard earn money. They justify their relevance. They justify their existence in the organization. But my dear friends, you will have to think over what I'm going to say the next thing. And what is the next thing? Again, there are some people who contributes zero or negativity, or they are harmful to the institution. They are also again part of the team. And people are not happy with them. And most of the people will not say anything ill about them, but they are always part of the team. Same thing. As good people, as hard workers, as dedicated people are always part of the team. At the same time, there are such kind of people, and I have a big vocabulary for such kind of people. So just look over this.
Nothing is coming on the screen, sir.
The thing is coming on the screen.
Only only team building experience and academic leadership is being shown. Next slide is not to be shown.
Okay.
The first slide is shown.
Doctor, we are getting only the first slide.
Okay, just a moment, sir. Just a moment. I'm sharing. I'm sharing it again. Uh,
Sir, you can try sharing it again.
what I'll do. Just a moment. Let me log out for a moment, and I'll get into again. Just.
Sure.
Still, it is there. Just.
Still not coming, sir.
Just a moment. Just. A moment. Shuyazi, allow me to share the content.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, now I got it. Just. I guess.
Sir, if it is possible, please close your all other windows.
Now it is coming, sir.
It is visible now, sir.
It is
Okay.
visible.
No problem. No problem.
Yes.
No problem. Sometimes these are technology, and I would request you to just adjust with the technological. I guess the first slide, and this is the second slide which I wanted to see you all. So today, what I wanted to tell you that there are at the same time some people who are not at all having any alignment with the institutional goals or institutional objectives, or they are not interested to contribute to the betterment of the institution, but they are again and again part of the team. Am I right? I guess you are getting.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
I am audible, and my screen is also visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I told you that there are 20% people who are really good. They are dedicated and they are contributing to the cause of the institution. They are taking the institution to the next level. They are trying to make the institution best of the institutions, right? And they are included in the team because of their ability to contribute to the cause of the institution. But at the same time, what I wanted to tell you that there are people who are at all not contributory to the positive things of the institution. They are not contributing, but at the same time, because of these things, there is a big glossary, there is a big vocabulary which I have tried to put here. I'm not going to take the names, but they are becoming team members. So team building has certain basic things. I'll come to that. I tell you, one Vice Chancellor's example I would like to narrate here. What happened? I'm not going to take the name, but he was given the responsibility of a university spreading over almost 450 acres of land, and teaching and non-teaching employees. Total strength was around 800 plus or something like that. Now, when he came to join the university, the institution was very much in poor condition, shabby condition, and the university was running under debt. Every month the university had to take a 3 crore rupees overdraft for paying the salary bills, salary amount, and this was the constant scenario despite receiving grants from the central government, state government, and from other sources. The university was very poorly running. And I tell you, people, I mean, this I'm talking almost 20 years old phenomena I'm talking with. Now, the situation was the nearby area were afraid of supplying anything to the university. The image of the university was so worst, so poor, that people would not like to deal with the university for anything, for even supplying the stationery, supplying the very pretty small things, people were not ready to. But the moment he joined the institution, just only I'm giving you the end result, I'm not going to talk about the entire process. When he joined, the institution was running under debt of huge money every month. The university had to take a overdraft of 3 crores. But the moment he left the institution, he left the institution or the university with a surplus or corpus of rupees 70 crores. So in the last 20 years, this university, which I'm talking about, is having a corpus of rupees 400 plus crores rupees. Now, you think about any state university having a corpus of 400 crores rupees, people will be really having an envy of them that, oh, this university is having this much money. So this is how he did. Now, this is not at all possible without team building. So he tried to analyze, he tried to look into the kind of people who were surrounding the institution, or the institution was surrounded by the kind of people. Perpetrators, flatters, self-interested people, politicians. Even I would not use bad words, but those were not good for the institutions. And as this executive council people, those executive council. Now you tell me, one executive council member who himself is running a college, how can think of, and the college is affiliated to the university. Now that executive council member or syndicate member or managing council member, how can he think of the betterment of the university? He will first think of his own college, self-financed college or affiliated college or grant-in-aid college or any college. If the college person who is running the institution, their own personal institution, self-financed colleges, and somehow by political influences they are coming on the board, on the governing body, and they are dictating the terms. This will happen, this will not happen, this has to do, this has not to be done. So these peoples, I mean, the government should first think about for building a good environment and cozy environment and working and functional environment. The government has to think about these people. There are institutions in the country, there are universities in the country where dean and subordinate deans are appointed on political basis, on democratic basis. There will be voting. This is really a heartbreaking situation where a dean is not appointed because of his academic qualifications, but because of how many votes he is going to get in the process of election. So dean to be appointed by election, this is the worst condition happening in India, I'm telling you. So when you are going for team building, you have to think about good people and bad people. I'm talking of that vice chancellor. He even issued memo. He even went up to the far to the level that he terminated some of the employees, and he said, "What comes whatever. I mean, he will be fighting against all odds." Political influences were there. He said, "No, I'm going to sacrifice my position if you are not listening to my terms." So he terminated number of employees who were working against the interest of the institution. So you fire one employee out of the institution, rest of the employees will be really on the track, who are perpetrators, who are creating problem for the institution. This is not the good way of dealing with the institution. But I'm giving you the example. I'm giving you the real life situation. What happened? I'm not saying that you have to go in any institution and start firing people. You have to work according to the given scenario and given condition. Maybe there all employees are working very nicely and nobody needs to be fired. Nobody needs any memo. Nobody needs any kind of clarification and show cause notice. Maybe all are working very good. But one institution which was under very poor condition. Now the situation is that that institution, the university is A-grade university, top university, and doing wonderful job. And at that time, 20 years back, the university was a really third-grade university, and people were not interested to get admission in that. So this is called institution building. Now, why you are learning all these things? Because you want to do the institution building. You want to be part of the leadership. You have to be in the steering seat, driving seat, and you have to run the institution. So, what is team building? I'll talk something academic things, and then again I'll be coming to real life examples. So many things I need to talk to you. I'll be talking, but I would really request Pankaj ji and Suyesh ji that you please give me a signal when it is 1 o'clock, because at sharp 1:15 I'll leave this session because I have another lecture. So when individuals with similar interest, attitude, and test come together to work for a common objective, a team is formed. This is what it is. So here, our interest is academic excellence. Our interest is, growth of the institution. Our interest is that our students should be best citizens in the society. Our students should get the jobs. So one of the studies says that 70% of the engineering graduates are not employable. Maybe my figure and data is varying, but majority of the engineers are not employable. Why? Because we are not serving the institution. We are not, somehow we are not delivering. Some problem is there. Recently, one survey was there about Vice Chancellor, and I'm quoting it very firmly here on this platform. 75% of the Vice Chancellor are not qualified, or 75% of Vice Chancellor are not capable of leading the institution. This was reported in probably Times of India, some newspaper you might have come across. So, if this is the situation, how can you think of building a good ambit and good environment and good ambience of academic scenario in India? So, when individuals with similar interest, attitude, and test come together to work for a common objective, a team is formed. My dear friends, my dear participants, you just think about the academic council, the Senate, or the syndicate, or the governing council, or even the department, or even the faculty, or even the school. Are we really having everybody with the similar alignment of objective and the kind of attitude, test, interest, all these things? See, when you are putting your personal objective above the institutional objective, I think team building will be difficult. But when institutional objective is put on the higher side and individual objective is put just little below the institutional objective, I think team can be really constituted very nicely. Every individual contributes equally and performs his level best to meet the team targets and achieve the organization's goal. Team members strive hard to live up to the expectations of others and successfully accomplish the assigned task. My dear friends, one thing I would just like to ask you, you just introspect. There is a vast difference in the behavior pattern and team relation of private institution and government institution. Those who are working in the private institution, they are having a different relationship matrix with their colleagues, and whereas those who are working in the government organizations or granting organization or government supported institution, their matrix will be entirely different. Hope I am right. in my perception, or it is something different? I don't know. You can respond me by writing in the chat box. But this is the scenario. But here the situation is that that team members strive hard to live up to the expectations of others and successfully accomplish the assigned task. My dear friends, so situation is that just a minute. Let me take a pen here, and the color is that right now. So here, when I'm saying, see, they are coming up to the expectations. Is that correct? That every time we are coming to the expectations? Maybe not, maybe right, or maybe wrong. A team cannot do well unless and until each and every member is focused and serious about his responsibilities. Now, you are driving in one direction, your team members are heading to different directions, and somebody is giving a different directives. The unity of command is something which we are being taught from the very beginning in the principles of management. There has to be unity of command. Sometimes organizations are having multiple controlling factors and authorities, so they are giving different directions, and then team members are confused. They do not know which way go and which way not to head, because somebody is saying something different, the other person is saying different, and that creates a lot of trouble and problem. So here is team building something very serious thing. For every team member, his team should come first and everything else later. Now, saying this is very easy, but you just think about, colleagues, those people who are working in your organization, you'll find that, team members are not always, keeping team first and their personal things are coming later. No, but we have to do that. And personal interest must take backseat. This is again a problem. But the scenario is that most of the time, people are having their added personal interest in that is creating a trouble and kind of hitches in achieving our targets. And every individual must feel motivated to perform his level best. Now I think motivation is the biggest part in any assignment. So we need to learn that whether our team members are motivated or not, and then only we can move towards that. I mean, motivation is lacking somewhere. If your salary is or if your emoluments or your compensation or your financial part is taken well care, now you don't know whether you are in the teaching with your passion, or whether you are in teaching with compulsion, whether you are in teaching or academic business because of somebody compelled you. That is something. So if you are here with passion, certainly monetary gain will be on the secondary consideration. But if you are here for some other reason, monetary affairs will be on the prime concern, and that will be the only factor of motivation. But if you have feeling like that, you like to go in the classroom and interact with your students, you like to deal with the new tasks, new assignments, you want to take your institution on a higher ladder, you want to make your institution A grade institution, top 10 university ranking of NIRF, you want to take the institution in the QS ranking, you want to take your institution in the world ranking, Jiaotong ranking, Times ranking, then your motivation level will be different. But say you are motivated, very good, you all are listening me, you go to your principal, go to your head of the department, go to your dean, or go to your vice chancellor's response is cold, he's listening to you but not responding you well, or with the same kind of warmth what you are expecting. So your motivation will go immediately, it will slump, it will come down very quickly, so you are getting demotivated. My dear friends, a good leader is that who is always self-motivated. You should not depend upon anybody else to motivate you all the time. If you are depending, or if your motivation is dependent upon somebody, then what will happen? Every time you will need somebody to recharge you. So getting inspired is good thing, but self-motivation is the best thing. You may get inspired by somebody. You may get inspired by Swami Vivekananda. You may get inspired by Vinoba Bhaveji, or you may get inspired by big leaders in the country. You may get inspired by Ratan Tata, by N.R. Narayan Murthy, or maybe there are many people you are getting inspired of, Jeff Bezos, or Bill Gates, or there are big leaders. I'm not going to take everybody's name. There are hundreds and thousands of names which you can be. But once you are inspired, your motivation level maintenance is your responsibility. So if sometimes somebody is demotivating you, if somebody is sometimes trying to get you down, or putting some hurdles, or creating, bickerings are there. There are a lot of troubles in working in the departments, or the colleges or institutions, and there are people who are always after you, creating trouble, and you are not having good relations with your employees, and that creates problem. And that is the biggest hurdle of team building, because sometimes say some task is appointed. There is, say for example, annual function or job fair is to be organized, and then for job function, Mr. X is given the chief responsibility, and Mr. Y is given as his subordinate's job. But Y and X are not having good relation. Rest assured, the job will not be accomplished in a smooth manner. So the top leader will have to come in between all the time, and he will have to intervene time and again for getting the job to be accomplished. So this is something where we have to understand. So every individual must feel motivated to perform his best level, and never impose things on anyone. Instead, the individuals must take the initiatives on their own. Now, sometimes, when you are team building, you have to identify. I tell you my personal experience. I'm not going to be to anyone. I was, for some time, controller of examination of my university, and the size of the work, the quantum of work, you can imagine. We had 400 plus affiliated colleges, plus almost 30 departments on the university campus, and plus 4.5 lakh or 450,000 students who were appearing in exams. We had engineering, we had medical, we had architect, we had homeopathy, all faculties, maybe around 15, 16 faculties we were having. So my task was to conduct examination very smoothly, declare results very smoothly, control unfair means, and I had a staff of say around 150 plus staff with me on my campus. Plus, I mean, of course, I was given the responsibility to assign tasks to the teachers of the affiliated colleges. So the first thing with what I did, I started, looking into the profile of the employees who were working with me, especially the section officer, senior clerks, junior clerks, and these were the people who were along with me. I had one deputy registrar with me. I had one assistant registrar also with me. So I tried to understand what kind of responsibilities they are having. The first thing what I did, within a week, I transferred 15 personnel of my department from one section to another section. So this created a lot of hue and cry. I said, this is my job to, what is annotation request? Dr. Vivek Sharma is requesting to annotate shared content during annotation. You cannot control the shared content. I don't know what to do. I'm declining this. Okay. So this is something what I did. I tried to analyze my team members' ability, and I tell you, wonderful results were there, and we could do a lot of automation, a lot of cleansing work. We could curb all the kind of nonsense and nuisances from the department for the section of examination. So that is possible when you are analyzing your teammates. You are giving the right kind of responsibility. You just think about F.W. Taylor. What did he do? He did time study, motion study, fatigue studied accordingly. He distributed the kind of work. So the guiding principles are there. So they should come forward and accept the challenges. I started people. I mean, one of my personal PA. who later become controller of examination after me. I asked my PA not to assist me. I just, hired a contractual personnel for assisting me in the capacity of personal secretary. And I transferred him my PA because at that time he was a stenotypist. Now nobody knows what is a stenotypist. So he was a stenographer. So I said, you go and take the charge of one section and you will be leading that section. That was confidential section. Later on, what happened? Everybody started coming on their own. Sir, I want to do this job. I want to do this job. I will do this. I will do this. So this has started happening. So team building is something that you analyze your team members, strength and weaknesses. You are learning that what kind of abilities are there with them, and then after you are assigning the task. A doctor is a good doctor. At the same time, he's a good gardener. So you will not be assigning him gardening job responsibility, but you will ask that, okay, you go and do your practice and be a good physician. So there is division of labor also, specialization also. You have to look into the kind of qualities one person is having. If a person is more successful in maintaining peership, so you send him in the field. Why do you are putting a person who is more extrovert and interested in interacting with people? You send him in the field and ask for the consultancy task, consultancy assignments. You send him for getting the donations. You send him for getting MOUs and collaborations and all that. And those people who are a bit serious kind of people who wants to sit on the back seat and they want to contribute something silently. Sitting in the back office, put them on such kind of things. So tomorrow you will be leader, you will be head of the department, you will be dean faculty, you will be maybe vice chancellor also, you may be a bigger having a bigger leadership responsibility. So when you are going for all such things, you have to analyze your individuals. So this is what team building. Oh, my step. Yes. I'm sure you are able to see my next screen. Yes or no?
It's just a team building skill.
But I scroll down my screen. Is it there or not?
On the screen, it is team building.
But something is written there. Team building refers to the various.
Yes. There are 5 points, sir. There are 5 points in the team building slide.
No, but you can't see next slide.
No. What was there in the next slide?
Team building refers to various activities undertaken to motivate the team members and increase the overall performance of the team. Anyways, I will not. What I'll do. Either I will request Suyesh ji because he is having the slide. PowerPoint, so better you share from that end and I'll exit from here. Or what I'll do, you just look into that. I'll be going one by one and I'll be explaining what it is, because I'm not more dependent upon my PowerPoint. I'll be talking with you my personal experience in my heart and whatever I like to. So let it go accordingly. So I'm coming to the next thing, that is team building refers to the various activities undertaken to motivate the team members and increase the overall performance of the team. Now, see, why you are building the team, why you are recreating the team, what is the strategy? Strategy is to, strike at the right moment. Strategy is to, if you remember, I don't know if any one of you have watched 1990 Italia 90. I mean, it was FIFA World Cup event. It was being played in Italy, and Italian team Salvatore Scilacci, that was striker who used to play in the D section on the other side, and they did not reveal about him. They did not put in front, and he was always sitting as the 11th or 12th player. I mean, a replacement player. But when he was used in the 4th or 5th game of the league round, and then what happened? He started striking like anything. Italy probably won the match, and I don't know exactly, but Salvatore Scilacci become the winner of Golden Boot because he struck the maximum number of goals in the post. So team building is something that you are trying to motivate and assess your people in the right perspective. Mr. Smith says about team building that it is metamorphic description of a team suggests that people or employees are like jigsaw puzzle pieces that fit together without distortion and which once completed produce an overall pattern. I repeat, employees are like jigsaw puzzle pieces that fit together without distortion and which once completed produce an overall pattern. So the employees in an organization are different parts and pieces of a larger picture. So you have to put them in proper sequence, in proper arrangement, so that they are going to produce a right kind of picture before you. And that is your ultimate goal, that is your objective, which you are going to do that. Further, Trent in 2003 explained the need for a cohesive team as companies have a significant reliance upon them. He goes on to say that teams are a cohesive, organized number of employees coordinated to conduct tasks. Now, see, team building is sometimes what happens. People come in the organization and they start doing with the same kind of people, with the same kind of segregation, with the same kind of division of labor, with the same kind of delegation of authority, with the same kind of assigned tasks. No, you have to ensure that there is a cohesiveness in the team. If there is no cohesiveness, if there is bickering, if there are rifts among the team, then you cannot expect a good kind of a result from them. So this is the prime responsibility of a team leader or the academic leader or the person who is there in charge, that to ensure that you are going to get best of the team and the team is very cohesive. Otherwise, there will be a littering kind of situation. Otherwise, there will be a kind of conflict situation. There will be a kind of a lot of distortions and differences. Adair in 1986 described an effective team as one that not only achieves its aims efficiently, but is ready to take on more challenges if they arise. See, every day government is coming with new situation, new scenario. COVID-19 has put us in a situation which were never expected, anticipated, or thought of. Of course, I think there was a movie released in Bollywood. Sorry, not Bollywood, but Hollywood. Contagious, I guess the name is Contagious. So the Contagious is probably the same kind of projection, but that was a movie. Nobody thought that contagious situation will come in real life. There are many science fictions coming every day in the market. Those are very out of the world kind of imaginations, but Contagious was a kind of imagination that is happening in 2020. 9 years back they produced that movie Contagious, and it is available everywhere. You can watch the same scenario, and this is really strange. How come it happened? But here you see the team is something. That team is not only ready to work in the normal conditions. Team is ready to work in pandemic scenario also. Team is ready to work in a scenario where people are not meeting one-to-one. They are not people meeting physically. We as Professor Madanji said that today, right now, I am interacting with people sitting across 25 states of the country. People are coming from, I guess, more than 50, 60 cities. People are coming from maybe 10, 12, 20, 30 language backgrounds. So this is something, this is a new kind of challenge. And the team of Dr. Dr. Pankaj Madanji has undertaken that. So the team, what he was appreciating his team very highly. Sir, I'm having this much people and I'm getting best of the work from them. How? because he is trying to understand their basic and core abilities, and the team is ready to work, the team is ready to undertake new challenges also. This is called, this real kind of team is there is a continuous flow of tasks, there is a continuous flow of assignment, there is a continuous flow of challenges, there is a continuous flow of expectations of people. And I tell you, once you do good job, people will be having better and higher expectations. You do this, people will be having, like, this is like, you win a district level cricket tournament, people will think of winning a state level. You win a state level, people will think of Ranji player. Where you win Ranji, people will think of Asia Cup. You win Asia Cup, people will think of World Cup. So similarly, a team who is doing good job, people will be expecting better and better kind of results from them. So a team is always ready. Team will not say no once we have achieved our task and now we are not ready to do any further tasks. No, team is, and I tell you, the team is rearranged, realigned. Team is uh, reorganized also. I mean, maybe some people are added in the team, or some people are excluded from the team. Looking to the kind of the composition of team keeps on changing. The composition of team keeps on modifying depending upon the kind of task you are looking at, the depending upon the kind of task you are assigned. As I told you about, Adair is a management expert, and he describes an effective team as one that not only achieves its aim efficiently, but is ready to take on more challenges if they arise. The second one is that, again, that teams have a set of goals and should be accountable for their actions. Yes. Uh, I tell you one thing. This is very important thing in team building. We always study, and we always teach our students, I mean, especially management students, that what is delegation of authority. Delegation of authority, say for example, you are the vice chancellor of a university, and you delegated the authority of organizing one very big event of, say, job fair to Dean Science and Technology. So Science and Technology got the authority from Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor given all kind of authorities, like financial authority, organizing authority, coordinating authority. Now Dean Science and Technology will build his own team, and thereafter he conducted job fair. And somehow job fair could not go well as per the expectations. Now tell me, who will own the responsibility? Either the Dean Technology or the Vice Chancellor. Now this is the biggest crux of team building. Whenever something goes wrong, the responsibility has to be owned by the leader. But what happens? I tell you, and if something goes successfully, the credit should be given to the person whom you have assigned the authority. Success credit should be given to the Dean Science and Technology. But in real life, it doesn't happen. I tell you. If I say something about national level, maybe it will be political, so I'll not go into that. But I have seen when a university is getting better accreditation, or when a university is getting better rank, all credit goes to the vice chancellor, right? But when a university is downgraded, when a university is not able to make its ranking in top 50, top 100, or top 10, all discredit is given to the IQAC coordinator or IQAC director, or the person who was in charge of filling up the data. Am I right or wrong? You just think about it. What is happening with? No. The entire team is accountable. Yes, somebody said something. Please tell me.
If something goes wrong, the head of the organization, head of the institution is responsible for that. if something goes good, even then the head of the organization of the
Yeah. I mean, see, a good leader is that who always believes in giving the credit to his teammates. Of course, the entire team is accountable. Of course, you have to maintain the spirit of the team. You have to keep the spirit of the team very high. But see, you cannot take the institution to next level when you start, identifying people for making the scapegoat. This is a very bad culture which is somehow prevailing in many of the institutions across the country. So higher education institutions are suffering from this culture that you find a scapegoat and put all kind of discredit in his name. No, this should not happen. Mr. Brooks recognizes team building exercise as an ongoing process, which, when completed successfully, are an effective and relatively unexplored training tool. Oh, wonderful. This is something I really like this. See, I initially also told that team building is a very continuous process. It is a relentless process. It is an ongoing process. And it's a training tool also, because through team building, you are training your subordinates. Through team building, you are training your allies, you are training your associates, you are training your teammates. Team building is the process of encouraging members of a group to work well together. Sometimes, I tell you, you might have seen one person is winning singles of US Open, Wimbledon, French Open. But when it comes to doubles, they are losing. Why they are losing doubles and why they are winning singles? Because as individual, they are very good. But as a team member, they are not able to be coordinated. They are not able to coordinate with their team members. No, a successful team is that, sometimes a team of average people can do wonders, and sometimes a team of excellent people will be performing very poorly. So here is that you have to maintain your group in such a fashion that all are going to deliver excellently. Now, the team building process, I'm saying that encourage many trust building exercises in your team, that you are posing your trust in your team members. You are telling them that, no, you are part of this and we are always standing by you. And when you are in trouble, we will be leading you. We'll be giving you the solutions, and team members must trust each other for the maximum output. And one must know his fellow team members well. Sometimes it happens that there are 10 members or 20 members or 30 members in team, but we do not know each other. We are working. No, that should not be like that. The team members must be compatible with each other. Compatibility, yeah, this is something very important. Compatibility. One has to have compatibility. When you are not matching chemistry, you are not making a good chemistry with each other, I'm sure team will not work. You should love to talk to each other. You should love to spend time with each other. I'm not saying that you go and fall in love with each other, right? Maybe that may also happen. I'm not saying. But the basic thing is that there has to be a compatibility. There has to be, kind of a good chemistry among the team members. And ice breaking, I tell you, task is completed, but ice breaking has not been done. Now then you can think that task is completed is not up to the mark. So ice breaking has to be done very initially. And if there is again creation of ice, or freezing of ice, or if the relationship is freezing, then you try to put the warmth of relationship, and you try to it is all up to the leadership. And see, focused leadership will always be able to build a very good team. So these are the very important things. So encourage activities where individuals come together as a single unit and work for a common task. They are coming and contributing to that. Now, what is teamwork? I mean, again, I'm coming to that. So what is effective team building? What is effective team building? So I'll take something. So the very first thing is that goal is clear to you. Very first thing is that goal is clear to you. Are you able to see my current slide, or you are still looking at the old slide?
Old slides.
No, sir.
Which slide you are able to look at it right now?
4 points are there. Encourage many trust building exercise. One must know his fellow team member well. The team members must. This is the slide.
Okay, just a minute. I'm doing this exercise again. Can you see this now?
Has also gone.
Just a moment. You'll be able to see this now. Are you able to see some new
No,
slides?
sir. No, it's all blank, sir.
It's all blank.
Yeah. Nothing is there.
Sir, please share again.
Okay. Well, sometimes it is okay technically. Well, I have worked upon this Cisco, but this time it is somewhat creating trouble. Is it visible?
Now it is visible, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. If it is visible, thanks God. So I was talking about, well, so the very first thing is that you need, sorry, I'm not going to that. The very first thing is that for team, you should have a goal. So without goal, for every goal, you have a different team. And then there needs a visionary person which is going to visualize that who will do and how it will be done. And then he is communicating with his team members, and the team members should have uh, uh, needed kind of skills, like if you're talking about cricket team, so there has to be some hard hitters, there should be some openers, there should be some people who are able to play on fourth and fifth place, there should be some fast pacers, there should be some spinners also, there should be one or two or three persons who are wicket keepers, there should be one two three four good all rounders also. So these are the things. So team requires all these things. Creativity is the most important significant part of the team building. So you are very much creative for the success of your work and your goal, the target what you have decided. Of that, you are continuously engaged in doing research and research and research, and every time you are coming with some new ideas. These days students are very smart, I tell you. In online classes I find it very oftenly I experience that they are coming with new ideas, new concepts, and new ways of doing the things. Why? Because they are doing a lot of research, and they are finding sometimes better content and better ideas. And see, this is what I was talking about, jigsaw puzzle. Every team member is a piece of a jigsaw puzzle, and when all are put together, they form a team. So there has to be collaboration. X and Y and Z all are collaborating with each other. And of course, the most important thing is leader is able to connect to all of his team members. Leader is able to motivate all of his team members or inspire all of his team members. And then he's trying to do the best of the leadership traits here. So this entire max, I have given 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. You can add some more important thing into this. The most important thing is that commitment and commitment of whom? Commitment of the leader, the person who is on the task. and keep thinking, keep walking, keep going. A thinking man will always do the best job. A thinking man will always create the best of the team. A thinking man will always give the best of the result. The person who keeps on thinking, you should have one goal, you should have one target, you should have one objective, you should have one aim. And for that aim, if you are thinking day in day out, and if you are dedicating all your resources, all your dedication, all your commitment, I'm sure you'll do wonders. Nobody can stop you. Only your commitment. Once you have committed, target a once you have got one objective, once you have got one goal, and dedicate your entire life for that, you will be doing wonders. You will become Mahatma Gandhi. I'm not telling you less than that. You decide about one thing. You decide about that you will change the academic gamut and academic scenario of the country. You dedicate yourself. Down the line, 10 years, you will be on the top of the world. Your team will work. There will be followers. There will be people who are behind you. They are doing wonders, wonders and wonders. There are changes. See, still, sky is the limit, and you have to realize this thing first. You have to reach to the level of self-actualizations. Once you are self-actualized, this team building becomes very easy task. Everything falls in place. Everything falls in place very appropriately, and you don't have to worry about that. So this is something very important for team building. Uh, Does anybody wants to say something? I guess some voice is coming from the background. Anyways, I'm not going for all these team building. Are you able to see my next slide? Yes or no?
No, sir, no.
Okay, forget about that because it sometimes creates trouble. So there is some problem with this, maybe connectivity or some whatever it is. Because today this is a maximum disturbed presentation. Because are you able to see?
No, sir, no. Everything is blank now.
Blank now. Okay, just a moment. Just somebody is writing there is problem in connectivity. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see something?
No, sir, nothing.
Nothing.
This is the problem of connectivity, I guess. Anyways, I'm trying to share, but it is not getting shared.
Sir, can you please share the screen again?
Shuyaji, I'm trying, but it is not getting shared. There's some problem happening. Can you see this?
Sir, you can,
sir.
without PPT, you can continue, sir.
Okay. Somebody said yes or no, I don't know. Okay, anyways. Well, forget about the PPT. So at present in India, in academic gamut, in higher educational institutions, there are 4 types of leadership working. The very first is servant leadership. Now, servant leadership is what? servant leadership depends upon their subordinates, and this is a kind of welfare leadership also, and such kind of leadership is not considered good for business organization. This is considered good for non-profit organization or the organizations where welfare is to be taken care. But at the same time, it is having trouble also, because you just think about it, that in universities like institutions, what happens, a noting comes from the junior clerk, and then it goes to the senior clerk, and then it goes to the section officer, and then it goes to the assistant registrar, then it goes to the deputy registrar, then it goes to the registrar, then it goes to the pro vice chancellor, or then it goes to the vice chancellor, and vice chancellor has to take decision in accordance with what noting has been put down by a clerical staff who is on the lowest position in the ladder, and he has to follow the instructions which has been directed. Now, most of the time vice chancellors are busy and they are spending time in unproductive kind of things. Now, Indian leadership has gone, I tell you, academic leadership has really gone down, and most of the time a vice chancellor is busy in university affairs as chief executive officer of the university. See, vice chancellor is considered to be academic leader, and executive is the registrar of the institution. I tell you, across the country, if you go across 900 universities, you'll find that hardly government institutions are having full, regularly appointed vice chancellor. Most of the time, you'll find registrars are in charge, or deputed, or sometimes hired from somewhere. They are not regularly appointed vice chancellor, registrars. So, the second type of leadership which is available in institutions, in academic institutions, that is transactional leadership, and this is really wonderful. And I'm sure some previous speakers must have told you about this. Transactional leadership is also known as quid pro quo, means something in exchange of something. Now, I'm not going much into detail of that because I have to speak something more of that. Emotional leadership is also there in our institutions. And the next one is that transformational leadership. I have checked with my participants' leadership styles. Some are having directive styles, some are having consultating style. Most of them are supportive style, situational style, delegating style, mixed style, consulting and delegating style, directing and delegating style, directing and supportive style, supportive and consultative style. This is the kind of your leadership trait which has been analyzed by your organizers. Now, we are having less time, so I'll be coming through the kind of leadership styles which we need to understand. That is coaching style, visionary style, servant style, autocratic style, laissez-faire or hands-off style, democratic style, pace-setter style, transformational style, transactional style, bureaucratic styles. Now, I am not going to deal into details of those leadership traits because you all are academicians and you know the details of these leadership styles. But I am going to tell you that what is the current scenario of our Indian academic institutions and what is happening that. So I'm going to share with you experiences because I was been told that I have to share the institution experiences also. So the very first experience is that in India, in our Indian higher education system, among all in higher educational institution building is possible. The very first thing. There are people who believe that Indian institutions are not possible. In 2000, 19 February, I happened to be part of one of the program at Oxford University. And Oxford University is a different kind of university. There is no university as such. They are having 38 colleges, constituent colleges, and 4 PPH, that is permanent private halls. They are theological institutions. They are teaching about religion and related kind of Christianity and all that. So we were part of SED Business School. SED Business School is very leading business school in the world. And this Oxford University is for the consecutive last 6 years on the top in Times ranking globally. So one of my senior fellow who was there, he said, when we landed, uh, uh, when he landed, then he said, Alok ji, it is not possible to build Oxford-like institutions in India. It is not because we are lacking resources, but it is because we are lacking mindset. Partially I agreed with him, but partially I disagreed also. Why? Because in India I have seen institution getting on the top, and for example, I remember one institution, SP Jain Institution, SP Jain Institute of Management. At the same time, BITS Pilani is there. At the same time, ICER is there. At the same time, IITs are there. At the same time, IIMs are there. At the same time, Indian School of Business is there. At the same time, Indian Institute of Sciences, that was originally Tata Institute of Sciences. It is not so that institution cannot be built. Institutions can be built out. It is possible. Your commitment, as I told you in the very beginning, in the mid of my lecture, the second observation and the second experience is that majority of academicians are upright. Majority of academicians are honest. Majority of academicians are very, very, very dedicated. And most of the academicians are indifferent. This is another observation. And I'm not saying on my personal experience. I'm sharing this on the experience of many leaders, many stalwarts of higher education system. Majority of academicians are upright, but most of the academicians are indifferent. They teach, they come, they deliver their lecture, they are giving lectures and everything, but at the same time, they are indifferent. Second thing into that, most of academicians are indifferent, which I told you, leadership attributes needed. Now, in India, leadership attribute is very much important and needed. Those who are running here and there, who are after some politicians, sir, please make me vice chancellor, please make me vice chancellor, they can never lead the institution, I tell you. In the olden days, there were no such kind of process, inviting applications, blah blah blah. There were such committees. They were looking for. See, I remember Pandit Madan Mohan Malvi. He used to go on the airports to receive big academicians and take them to the Kashi Hindu Vishwavidyalaya, and that is why Pandit Madan Mohan Malvi could build such a gigantic and such a huge and such a wonderful institution. Of course, today there are some problems in BHU, but yes, it is because Pandit Madan Mohan Malvi was on the look and he was searching for good academicians. So the same thing, we need to search for good leaders, and administrative staff looks up to the leaders. Those administrative staff, यथा राजा तथा प्रजा, the person जैसा राजा होगा वैसी प्रजा होगी. अच्छा लीडर होगा तो अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन बनेगा, अच्छा लीडर होगा तो अच्छा काम होगा. So these are the experiences. Challenges in leadership building are we are finding lack of competency in leadership, and poor selection process, regionalism, caste, religion, and beliefs, lack of vision, short vision, conflict of interest, so-called unfair practices, lacking leadership attributes, on the look of another term for a term or position. I tell you, what happens most of the time, the vice chancellor is always, looking for another trend. And if not in the university, in this university, they will be looking for another university. There are some people, I need not to take names, they are spending one term here, two term here, three term. I know a person who did not complete a single tenure. He was moving every after 1.5 year or 2 year from one university to another university. And in a row, he completed 4 universities in such fashion. So those who are always ready with their baggage and moving from one institution to another institution, they cannot be good leader, and these leaders can never build a good team. So I think deliberations, because I'm having a lot of things to share with you, but within such compressed time, we can discuss only certain things. So I would request all of you to put your questions now. Rest of the things I'm having here to share with you. So please, just a moment. Please. Hello. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I suppose I'm having 15 minutes time, 10 minutes time with you remaining. And
Yes, sir. We have enough time for questions if any participant has.
or I'm having a lot of things to discuss with you. I will carry on if there is no question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kindly carry on.
Acha, should I carry on? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So now the kind of academic challenges for the leaders. So now I'm talking about normative note. I'll be coming in the selection process and all that. That what is the normative note of an academic leader who has to lead the institution? Well, let me try once again if I can share my screen. I hope you can see this or not. I don't know. Can you see this or not? Okay.
Not still, sir.
Okay. But it is showing anyways, no problem. So, what I want to tell you that um, an academic leader has to first thing, the four most important thing is that he has to concentrate on what you call teaching learning process. The core has to be teaching learning process of an academic leader, but most of the time I feel, this is my personal feeling, maybe I'm wrong, that in today's scenario what has happened, teachers are most of the time busy in supplementing data or supplying data for different various kind of rating and ranking and accreditation and so many other things, right? And for that reason, teachers are not getting sufficient time for addressing their classes, for taking their classes, or even if they are taking classes, they are not satisfied on their own also. At the same time, students are also not satisfied. Am I correct or not correct? Tell me, please.
So when you
Yes, sir.
love,
Yes, somebody was saying when you learned. Yeah, please tell me.
so I'm saying that when we are passionate about the thing we are doing and we love what we are doing, we will be at the pinnacle of our careers. But when it is chosen or taken accidentally, so you will not be able to do justice with yourself as well as with your duty and the people who are the recipients of that service. Thank you.
Correct, correct, correct. That is correct. I'm not saying that. You are very much right. But as an academician, you tell me you are supposed to go in the lecture, and at the same time, your authorities are saying you submit this data immediately. What will you feel? What will you do?
See,
And
sir,
what
this is a very technical situation, critical rather, I must say. Neither you can overrule your authorities, and here it's a diplomatic decision which need to be taken. Rather than denying both the things, you can tell them the priority that since the lecture is the immediate right now, I will finish my lecture and thereafter I will honor your whatever the role or duty has been assigned to.
Sir, I tell you because one thing I tell you, I had been I headed internal quality assurance cell, one of the best IQAC in the country, with complete paraphernalia and infrastructure. I ran it for 7.5 years, and uh, uh, I have my personal experiences. Teachers were frustrated. I tell you, teachers were frustrated. And not only here, I have interacted with the people across the country. I had been moving as part of NACTA team and other, kind of accreditation agencies. See, we need to have a better infrastructure of database management. You need to have a kind of ERP system. You need to have all such things. And teachers should be allowed to teach. Teachers should be, data management should be given to a different kind of agency, and there should be kind of automation. But somehow somehow the scenario is like that. Teachers are overburdened, stressed, and not able to justify themselves. So any academic leader, very prime responsibility is that he or she provides a good and cozy environment for teaching and learning. If it is not there, then you just forget about that. Second thing is that curriculum. What happens about curriculum? So curriculum change. There was, a model curriculum code from University Grants Commission. Private institutions are able to do. Why? I mean, why it happens that after doing your, engineering, you are going to Infosys, and then Infosys will again give you training for 3 months, and then you are being deputed on the job. So some problem is there. We are not able to update our curriculum, and in the name of revision of curriculum, you are putting content from X box to the Y box and content from Y box to the Z box. This is, I mean, we have seen from our own personal experiences, and we have first-hand experiences. The research is something we are producing voluminous research papers, voluminous PhD thesis, and quality. We are concerned for quality, and we put a lot of restrictions about plagiarism, and this control and that control. What is happening in research? See, with my experience of 20 plus, PhD students, uh, scenario is not much encouraging. I tell you, I should not come on those things. So, as an academic leadership, you have to come down to go for blind evaluation. You should have a pool of assessors. You should have a pool of adjudicators. You should have independent assessors and evaluators. Extension activity, very, institutions are doing extension activity because there are certain weightage and marks in the accreditation and ranking process, so they do. But you tell me honestly, how many institutes are really going for that? So leadership, extension is what you are doing in the classroom, you are carrying this to the society. You are a law teacher, so you are giving the legal aid or legal guidance to the society that, okay, you can do this and that. You are not confining yourself to the classroom, but institution is going to the society. Institution is helping the society in terms of extension activities. So this is again part of the academic leadership. Collaborations and collaboration, not to show somebody that we have done MOU with this and with that. And that is why NAC also came along with, and that they said there should be legal binding upon both the parties. So we have seen institutions having 100 collaborations, but zero output. The collaboration, like, you should have a quality collaboration for teaching, for researches, for research publications, for kind of, um, uh, we feel really sorry that we are not able to reach up to the mark. And there are multiple responsible things: the environment, the infrastructure, the culture. The most important thing is culture. Culture has to be built up. Culture has to be inculcated. Culture has to be there. So collaboration has to be there, and consultancy. You can earn a lot of things. So IPR policy was there in even sixth pay scale, or even in the seventh pay scale, but hardly any institution. Okay, of course, private institutions are implementing it, or IITs and IIMs you can find. But how many IITs and IIMs? You can count them on fingers. The country is very big. You think about state universities, you think about deemed universities, think about other institutions. So very. And academic leadership should be futuristic. They should think about down the line 10 years where the institution will go, 20 years planning, strategic planning, short-term planning, mid-term planning, long-term planning. All such things should come. And social welfare should be part of the academic leadership in the institutions. Innovation, very, when you travel in countries like United Kingdom, you go to the Australia, you go to the America, you go to China, you will find innovation. Oh my goodness! But we are lacking innovation. Say, Stanford Research Foundation. Can you think of Stanford Research Foundation? Their annual revenue is more than $6,000 billion. Now you imagine, can any university earn this much money every year? And Stanford Research Foundation is a university, right? Stanford is entirely run by their alumni. No government is in between there. No government is not paying and giving them single penny. But Stanford is wonderful institution. So we are not doing innovations. They are doing innovations. They are earning a lot of money from their patented research. They are earning a lot of money from consultancy. They are giving solutions. They are doing projects. They are doing kind of business operations. Wonderful things. We are trying to build up here incubation and startups and entrepreneurship and all that, but still we have to take a lot of courage to take it to the next level. Then congeniality within the organization and congeniality with the people outside the organization. Institutions should have a very good kind of role in this case. The brand equity, you have to build up your brand. You have to put a branding of your institution, that this institution, oh my goodness, wonderful job. And ranking, accreditation, alumni engagement, all these things are there. Financial independence has to be there, I guess. Every institution in India, I'm talking of government institution, grossly dependent upon government. If government stops giving salary, tomorrow it will be a problem. So why not a government-funded institution is thinking about financial independence? Government is trying to motivate you, but problem is that. And faculty development. Faculty development, I tell you, Sometimes you have to force your faculty members to go and join faculty development program. But if there is some motivation in that, certainly they will be joining that. Staff development and social connect, these are the things which I wanted to share with you. And I'm thankful. I guess my time is over now. If you want to share something or if you want to interact something, please let me know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this informative session. And I hope every participant is really enjoying this session and has gained very much knowledge of the academic leadership and the various topics which we have covered in this session. Thank you once again, sir. Dear,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
dear participants, if you have any question, then you can put it in the chat. Otherwise, we will be breaking for the current session and we will be joining again for the next session at 2 p.m. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you.
Participants.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, will be yes, please, yes.
Sir?
Yes, please. Yes.
Sir, the last slide we are just discussing about faculty development and staff development. Now, how we can just differentiate or make different points regarding the staff development? Can you just say a few points? In faculty development, we already know there are many systematic routine or procedures that can be followed up. What about the staff development agenda? A few points it can be enumerated.
Professor Alok, sir, would you like to answer this question, sir?
I think sir has gone here.
Ma'am, can I add few points?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Actually, for staff development, staff is there. So soft skill development. Sometimes, sometimes they require the computational training or computer training, how to store the files, and how to use the different softwares. Okay. For the laboratory, I'm working in the pharmacy college.
Okay.
That deals with the pharmaceutical, that deals with the drug.
Right.
So that place, what